Good morning. I'm tired. Today is Magic Kingdom, so we're running over to grab the bus. That's Animal Kingdom, so we didn't miss it yet. And we will see you on the way. So we're taking Disney transportation to the Magic Kingdom. What a lot of people don't realize is this bridge that's coming up that we're about to go under. A lot of people think it's just a normal bridge. It's actually a man-made waterway that connects the Bay Lake to the Seven Seas Lagoon so that the boats can cross to go from Flora Wilderness over to the Magic Kingdom. Because if you're taking Disney transportation, definitely take the bus to the Magic Kingdom. It allows you to bypass the Ticket and Transportation Center and you go right up to the gates. If you're going to take an Uber or a Lyft, I recommend going to the Contemporary and being dropped off there and just taking a walk over. If you take an Uber or a Lyft to the Magic Kingdom, they're going to drop you off at the Ticket and Transportation Center. So as you can see, where we get dropped off with Disney transportation, the gates are right up here. So you really get dropped off a lot closer and you don't have to deal with that Ticket and Transportation Center, taking a ferry or a monorail or a boat. I will say this though, if it's a really busy day and you get to the Ticket and Transportation Center and need to make it over to Magic Kingdom, see if they're running buses. A lot of times, if the monorails and the ferry are really crowded, they will also be running buses off to the right-hand side as you approach the TTC, or the Chicken Transportation Center. The buses tend to be a lot quicker because they'll bring you up and drop you off right where we were just dropped off from the resort. So if you're staying off property, that's always a good option too. See if the buses are running in the morning. Perfect shot. No scrims, no construction. A lot of times when you come down, you're gonna see on either side they'll have scrims down some of the Main Street buildings that will, when they're doing construction on a particular building, they'll cover it with a scrim that usually is the same design as the building itself, so you still know what the building looks like. The other thing cool about Main Street is the forced perspective, and if you take a look in the windows, all of the names of the agents in these windows all have some type of Disney connection, whether they be retired Imagineers, but any name that you see up in one of those windows has somehow been designated by Disney as being an influential person in the development of the parks. I will say, as you're coming down Main Street, this little alleyway over here is one of the quietest places to go in the morning. That will allow you to kind of grab your coffee from Starbucks or whatever and sit and kind of just watch the people go by. Now, I can't guarantee you this is always the case, but I will tell you, in my experience in the times I've been here, the majority of people at Rope Drop will either head to the right or left of the castle and go to Fantasyland, or they will head off to the right here at the hub and they will go to Tomorrowland. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Peter Pan, and Space Mountain tend to be the highest trafficked places. We're gonna actually head off here to the left, right in front of Casey's Corner, and head back. If you go into Adventureland, Frontierland, it tends to be a lot less busy in the early mornings. Recommendation is I wouldn't schedule a fast pass in the first hour. You tend to get really low wait times for the first hour. I usually try to schedule my first one between 9:45 and 10 so that I can get all of my 3 fast passes out of the way in the morning, and then I can continually get them throughout the day as they become available. cannot beat that. That is always a pretty sight.
The gentlemen want the rum, don't you, boys?
Oh, you scurvy skunk! Do I hear 10? Again for a 10! See the look on Captain Sparrow's face when he hears Dad tell only me what's got the goods. Keep still.
One of the things people don't realize is there was a reason why they had to put the drop in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. When you're dropping on that hill just after the Davy Jones fog scene, which they, by the way, they've taken out of Disneyland's and replaced it with the original. But when you make that drop, you're actually dropping into the show building, but they couldn't get you to the show building because of the Disneyland or the Disney World Railroad. So you're actually dropping underneath the railroad tracks, as if I cued that. So that train is actually going right above where you dropped down that hill. And then you enter the show building, and then you have to take that the escalator up at the end to come back up to ground level. It is now 9:20, and you can see people still have not yet made it over to this side of the park. It's pretty empty. So we're actually going to head over to Liberty Square and try to see if we can jump on Haunted Mansion. One of the things people also don't realize is Disney really paid attention to the details when they did this, almost a little overboard. If you take a look, there's this brown gravel stone, but it's the color of brown for a reason. And back in the colonial days, what they used to do was when they finished relieving themselves in the bathroom, they would throw those buckets of waste out the windows and would wash down the streets. This is meant to replicate the waste washing down the middle of the street. I don't know how well this will come out on the camera, but if you look at the doors, all of them have 2-digit number addresses. Those addresses are the year that that particular building was modeled after as far as architecture. So you'll see that they'll progressively change, and every building has just slightly different architecture. That 2-digit number is the year that that building is supposed to replicate.
Is this haunted room actually stretching? Or is it your imagination? And consider this dismaying observation. This chamber has no windows and no doors. Which offers you this chilling challenge to find a way out. Of course, there's always my way.
Look up.
Oh, I didn't mean to frighten you prematurely. The real chills come later. Now, as they say, look alive.
So as you're exiting the Haunted Mansion, if you look up to the left on the hill, you'll see that they still have a statue of Mr. Toad in dedication to the ride that closed down. It's now 9:45. We were able to get in both the Pirates of the Caribbean as well as the Haunted Mansion. We're gonna go grab some breakfast, and then we're going to, good morning, and then we're gonna head over to our first Fast Pass, which is Big Thunder. And then after Big Thunder, we then have Splash Mountain. And I will say, as I'm standing where I'm standing right now, this was the one, I think, design flaw that they had here at the Magic Kingdom. Take a look. I don't like how when you're looking through Liberty Square, you see the Contemporary at the end of the road. So that's just one thing that I wish they would have done just a little differently, but I guess there's really no way to mask it. It's just kind of there. So we're gonna go grab the breakfast waffle over at the Sleepy Hollow Refreshments. Good morning. Mary Poppins just strolling through Liberty Square. I've got the churro ice cream sandwich, as any normal person would get for breakfast. Andy and Kassidy both got the, what is it called? The fruit waffle? I don't know. I usually get it, but I didn't this time because this is new and this looked yummy. And ice cream for breakfast. Yes, please.
Oh my god. You're probably gonna want to eat that with a fork.
That is so good.
Oh my god, Joe.
I'm messy.
How is it?
It's really good. They need to serve churros with ice cream all the time.
I already had ice cream all over
I
it.
highly recommend this. Maybe not for breakfast. Get it
No, for breakfast.
One of the recommendations I would make is if it's a really busy day and you're trying to get from Liberty Square over to Frontierland, I would recommend cutting through the dot walkway, which is going to be just over here. A lot of times, especially when you get near the parade time, you're gonna see that the street down the middle of Frontierland's really gonna get packed with people on both sides getting ready for that 3 o'clock parade.
Oh, never mind.
Yes, the 3 o'clock parade is at 3 o'clock. Unlike last year when the 3 o'clock parade was at 2 o'clock.
That makes no sense.
But this, as you can tell, is a much less traveled path and kind of bypasses all that crowdedness. The other thing I would say too is if it's a really busy day, I recommend taking some time and going over to Tom Sawyer Island, especially when we're here on July 3rd, where it could possibly be a capacity in the park. It's a true quiet place to go, where not a lot of people head over there, and so I recommend that. If you just want to get away from all the crowds, if it's really busy, go on over to Tom Sawyer Island here. You'll take these rafts over here, and those will, you could just wander around. There's actually a couple of cool seating areas over there where you can just sit around, eat, grab some lunch over on this side and take it over, and just have a quiet lunch over there on the picnic tables. So I definitely have to say, Big Thunder Mountain has one of my favorite queue lines, but on a hot day, it is one of the most lethal hot queue lines as well. So that's something to keep in mind when you're deciding which rides to get your fast passes for. But they have added a lot of interactive elements if you're in the standby line that you do bypass if you're on the fast pass line.
Folks are wearing hats or glasses. Best remove them, cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Make sure to watch the goat. So this over here in Frontierland is a huge pin shop with pins and pins and pins. Say hello.
Hello. Andy. Hi. Hi. Hello. He has a bear on here. Oh, he's a bear. Yes. I'm here.
Is it still too early in the morning?
Yeah, it's too early.
He's hibernating. So we think we have another, I don't know, 20-25 minutes till our Splash Mountain Fast Pass. So we're gonna head over to the Hall of Presidents and see when the next showing for that is, just to get out of the heat for a few minutes. It's a very humid morning this morning. So fun fact for you, this is actually, there's only 2 official seals of the United States in the country. This one here at Magic Kingdom in the Hall of Presidents, the other one in the Oval Office of the White House. Nobody else in the world is allowed to replicate this seal exactly. What's that?
We're just gonna wait for the show.
Yeah.
This program is dedicated to the memory of Walt Disney. In 1971, his love for America inspired the creation of the Hall of Presidents, a place to celebrate the optimism and goodwill he saw at the heart of the American story. Walt's vision was to honor the nation by honoring the American presidency.
With a proud history. Ladies and gentlemen, the Presidents of the United States of America. George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, James K. Polk, Zachary Taylor, Millard Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, James Buchanan, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Johnson, Ulysses S. Grant, Rutherford B. Hayes, James A. Garfield, Chester A. Arthur, Grover Cleveland, Benjamin Harrison, William McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Woodrow Woodrow Wilson, Warren G. Harding, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, Richard M. Nixon, Gerald R. Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama. And now we come to the present. Once again, we place our trust in the idea of a president, as we have from the beginning.
My fellow citizens, no event could have filled me with greater anxieties than that notification on the 14th day of April, 1789, that you had selected me to lead our nation. But it was with the confidence of my fellow citizens that I took an oath. 35 simple words that have been repeated by every American president throughout history.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So help me God. From the beginning, America has been a nation defined by its people. At our founding, it was the American people who rose up to defend our freedoms and win our independence. It is why our founders began our great Constitution with 3 very simple words: we the people. Since that moment, each generation of Americans has taken its place in the defense of our freedom, our flag, and our nation under God. These are the achievements of the American spirit, the spirit of a people who fought and died to bring the blessings of liberty to all our people. Above all, to be American is to be an optimist, to believe that we can always do better, and that the best days of our great nation are still ahead of us. It's a privilege to serve as the President of the United States, to stand here among so many great leaders of our past, and to work on behalf of the American people.
The presidency of the United States is old. A new idea our presidents have turned into a great American idea again and again.
love this view over here.
I need to hide my hat.
This is a cool view if you're up like right here when the fireworks are going on.
Oh yeah.
Especially as you just before you crest and come over the big hill, you can get really good fireworks shots. That's nothing.
That's what you ask us. That's what we know. Pretty good shows you're born. Pretty good shows you're born. How do you do? Fine, how do you? Time to move it along. It's time to move it along. Time to move it along.
My favorite one is the one that turns into like a small roller coaster track.
Where is this secret hiding place? Where are they talking about? Can I go too? Hey, y'all.
She'll hear with that and then she'll...
You're gonna lose your head. You're not even gonna come out to a tight. The roller coaster track. Here we go. I told you I love that. It's new and have you watched it?
Well, now you done been sticking your nose in the wrong landing place this time, let's go.
get in the tunnel. That's one of the best things in the park, though.
I'm gonna close my eyes and shut my ears. But that's gonna help.
And shut my ears?
That's not gonna help water. I know to duck down. See, look, the duck's coming down. We're gonna end up like that bunny. Okay. Okay. Sit. Okay, sit. Okay, sit. I barely got wet. This actually blocked a lot of the water. Not really. This blocked a lot of the water.
I got wet.
I didn't get that wet. That was fine.
It was great. Just let us go again. This is the one where you get wet. That's why you sit on that side. Well, we can't get off without having a finale. Finale's coming up. You just went under the train track bridge. It's satisfaction.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Wonderful feeling, wonderful day. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Wonderful day.
And when a man came naughty, perfect example. If you cannot beat the other fella that you were trying to fight, survival is the way to win. So you must distract. What is that? Simply. Distract.
Alright, so we just finished up Splash Mountain, where it was okay. We got wet a little bit.
I got it wet.
Kassidy chickened out and ducked behind her little cubby. Andy was screaming like a little girl.
What? No.
Especially, not on the big drop. No, not on the big drop. After the big drop, when we have the little sprinkle from the waterfall, then he complains.
Like a little baby.
Like a little baby. I'm just kidding. Not really. Anyways, we're headed off to our Fast Pass of the Jungle Cruise, and then after that, I don't know. We'll decide. We haven't really planned that out yet. We'll be jumping over to the other half of the park.
Is your name Kassidy?
Yeah.
My name's also Kassidy. Oh, cool. Nice. Who can see them?
Mine's with a K.
Well, that's why she knows. When you scan in, your name comes up on the screen.
Oh, I was like, how does she know my name?
Alright. Because Disney cast members know everything.
I was really confused.
So like I was saying before, we've done everything on this side of the park with the exception of the Enchanted Tiki Room and the Country Bears, which we're going to save for later in case it rains, so we have something to do indoors. So we will jump on the Jungle Cruise here, and then we'll figure out a plan for this afternoon. It is supposed to rain this afternoon, so I'm not sure. We'll see how that pans out. I will say I hope that we get a good skipper, because this ride really is made or broken based on how good your skipper is. I've had some extraordinary skippers, and I've had some not so great skippers. So we'll see who we get.
Now, as we get the last couple folks in here, just a quick reminder to remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the boat at all times. Parents, watch your children. Children, watch your parents. This Jungle Cruise, where we are world famous for being famous all the way around the world. My name is Skipper Josh, and I will be your cruise director for the next 5 exciting days and 10 romantic nights. The first stop on our journey here is the Amazon rainforest, where it can rain up to 365 days straight. Now, I'm no scholar, but according to my calculation, that's almost every other day. Stay in school, kids. If you look over there in that log right there, you'll see a couple butterflies kind of hiding over there. Fun fact about those butterflies, they are the fastest animals in the jungle. They can run up to a top speed of 30 miles per hour. That's on you, right? Everyone's giving me weird looks up here. Over here on your left, that's Inspiration Falls. People often ask me, Skipper Josh, why do you call it Inspiration Falls? Well, the longer you stare at it, the longer you listen to it, the more it inspires you to go. Deeper and deeper into the jungle, of course. And hey, we're going to see just how far this boat can go as we now enter the Congo River. We got a nice welcome party set up ahead for you guys, but first things first, there's the Jungle Book. 3D. I got the box set for you. It's got Blu-ray and everything. Yeah, it's great. Anyways, you guys, hey, without further ado, I present to you now my friends, the Pygmy. Oh, wow, nobody showed up. Just like my 10th birthday party, what do you know? Seriously, guys, I can't see anyone up on that beach there. Canoe? Oh my goodness. There's a python right up there, you guys. Hey, fun fact about that python, though. It's the fastest animal in the jungle. It can run up to a top speed of 30 miles per hour. It's okay, though. I got some snake repellent up here. Oh, wow. Yeah, these gorillas, they ruined all my stuff. That's my hat. That's my gun. That's my backup hat there in the water. Look what they did to my Jeep. They painted it blue. It's a lease. My mom's going to flip when she sees that. Anyways, we're going to make like a banana and split here. Enough of this monkey business. We're going to turn down the Nile River now because it was way too loud. All the neighbors were complaining. The Nile River is the longest river in Africa. It's 4,000 miles long. Don't worry though, we got a really powerful engine on this boat. We'll get to it in about 4 minutes or so. Right up there in the trees, that's an African bull elephant. It's also the fastest animal in the jungle. It can run up to a top speed of 30 miles per hour. And up ahead here, that's a sandstone rock formation. A lot of people take it for granted. I'm not sure why though. I think it's one of our bolder attractions here in the jungle. It really rocks in my opinion. And the African belt here is home to all the most dangerous animals in the jungle. Don't worry though, they're all bolted to the floor for your safety. Look at that, you guys. That pride of lions is guarding that sleeping zebra. That poor guy, he must be pretty dead. Tired, dead tired. But hey, we'll just let him rest in peace for now. Look at these guys up here. There's that lost safari we've been looking for. You know, I don't feel bad for them though. I tried to tell them a while back that they'd never be able to outrun a rhinoceros on foot. I mean, come on, it's the fastest animal in the jungle. It can run up to a top speed of 30 miles per hour. They didn't believe me though, but hey, looks like they're gonna get the point in the end. I wouldn't want to be the low man on that total pole, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyways, you know what they all say, safari's so good, he's moving on. Right up ahead there, that's the beautiful Schweitzer Falls. Schweitzer Falls is named after the famous explorer and head of the Jungle Navigation Company, Dr. Albert Falls. Gotta see all that mist, everyone. That's 800 different types of bacteria for you right there, free of charge. It's the only free souvenir you get on the Jungle Cruise today. Hey, right over here on your right, that's my home. I mean, it's a little plain, but it's nice. I got a great deal on it though, it was half off. However, we all know that a downed plane in the jungle can only mean one thing, right? Hippos. Every time. These guys, they can jump up into the sky and bite a plane right in half. If they can do that to an airplane, imagine what they can do to a little boat like this. Well, don't worry though, they're only wiggling their ears like that to stay warm so we don't catch hypothermia. I mean, hey, it can always do worse though, right? They could be icebergs. You don't know how that is, We've entered headhunter territory now. This is a terrible place to be headed. Over here on your right, there's some of the natives' arts and crafts. There's art right there in the front. I used to work with the guy. That was all mine. That's those natives up there. They're dancing in a circle. You know what that means? They forgot how to square dance. That drumming there, that means there's an ambush nearby. So everyone keep your eyes peeled for once. A tall, skinny bush has got a little red flower on the top. It's got sharp, pointy leaves. Kind of ambush anywhere? No, nothing. Guys, here it is. The moment you have all been waiting for. And I now present to you all the 8th wonder of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the backside of water. Hey, don't try that at home though. You'll hit your head on the faucet. Don't ask me how I know that though. Alright. That's a nasty. Looks like we're under the Mekong River now, deep in the heart of Cambodia. It's pretty dark in there. Think we're gonna find danger or treasure or the fastest animal in the jungle? Either way, keep your eyes open, because I won't. Here is the Miracle Engine Company. If you can make it all the way around the jungle on one engine, it's got to be a miracle. Our second sponsor is Zebra Jerky, and every other white meat. Our third sponsor is Animal Crackers. Animal Crackers teach children all around the world that all animals taste the same. Delicious. The frosting goes sprinkles on it. Hey, was this anyone's first time in the Jungle Cruise today? Is anyone's first time here? We got a couple back there too. It's mine too. It's almost like we're in the same boat or something.
I thought you were trained.
Anyone's last time in the Jungle Cruise? Anyone never coming back again?
Oh.
Yeah? I did my job then. I don't like it though. I think I'm going to go around again.
Never again.
Again after that. Again. Again. It's going to be a long day. As a matter of fact, anyone want my job? Anyone want to be a skipper? You get paid a lot. I mean, you get paid bananas, but hey, it's a lot of bananas. I'll take you around about 10 more times. I'll teach you all the jokes, teach some khaki, and then boom, you're in. Go home and take a nap. Hey, what are your plans for later tonight? You gonna catch the fireworks tonight at 9:15? Yeah. I would recommend it. They're hot. You can always watch them though from a safe distance, like Main Street or another park, resort, car. Either way, when you leave here today, be sure to tell all your friends and family about your experience. It'll help keep our wait time down. Anyways, you guys, if you take a look up here on your left, that's my friend Trader Sam. He's the head salesman of the jungle. He's got an older brother, Cheer Furman's name's Trader Joe. He's got a nice supermarket chain. However, unlike Joe, sales for Sam have been shrinking as of late, but he's got a deal cut out just for this boat, and that's 2 of his heads for 1 of yours. It's a great deal, you gotta consider it. No matter which way you slice it or dice it, you're always gonna come out ahead. This is pretty cutthroat out here in the jungle. But you know, Sam, he's a really nice guy, though. He invited me to his house last night for dinner. Unfortunately, I was 20 minutes late. All I got was the cold shoulder. However, he did let me sample some of the stew his wife made. I told him, Sam, your wife makes a delicious stew. He said, thanks, but I'm gonna miss her.
Oh my god.
Sorry about the painful jokes, you guys. I really have a bad taste in my mouth. But hey, anyways, that brings me to our fourth and final sponsor here in the Jungle Cruise, Trader Sam's Cannibal Cafe. Always thinking of new and exciting ways to serve you. Anyways, you guys, hey, as we approach the dock up here, just a final reminder to remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the boat until you're directed out by those skippers up there. Actually, if you take a look over there, you guys are going to see two docks. You'll see a dock on the left and a dock on the right. We like to call that a paradox. And those two skippers up there are going to help you out of the boat. We call that a pair of dorks. But once we get up there to the dock, everyone on this side of the boat here and in the middle, you can head out that front door there. Everyone on this side out that back door, just like the way you came in. Don't cross those crates in the middle, though. You already survived one bad trip on this boat. You don't need to take another one. Clear. But hey, either way, you guys, it's been a pleasure touring with you all today. It really has. If you laughed, thanks for laughing. If you didn't, thanks for leaving. Wow. You've been outstanding here today, but in a moment I'm going to need you outstanding on that dock. So as we approach the dock here, remember to keep your elbows inside the boat, especially on this side over here. You don't want to experience any peer pressure. Anyways, you know what they all say. Get out.
And so our journey comes to an end, but yours continues on. Grab hold of your dreams and make them come true. For you are the key to unlocking your own magic. Now go, let your dreams guide you. Reach out and find your happily ever after.